We are in a region that is covered in snow for most of the year, so the school excursions are a bit different. This is the case for the protagonist and his classmates who are about to go skiing. Minami is very excited to show our protagonist how well she can ski. It seems that all the students are quite familiar with this practice, and that's why everyone is very happy. This also includes a girl named Sayuri who is sitting next to the protagonist. She is quiet and we don't know much about her because she has never spoken to Minami. Tsubasa is surprised by this because Minami gets along well with everyone in the class. The curious thing is that it's not about a fight. Minami admires this girl a lot and always tries to get closer to her, but every time she does, she only receives a long silence and indifference. What he likes the most about her is her beauty, a combination of gal with delicacy and elegance, two qualities that are not seen in this urban tribe because they are opposite to its foundations. This leaves our protagonist quite mesmerized, so he stays silent for the rest of the way because he got a little jealous. It seems that he won't only be close to Yuri during the trip because on the ski slope, the class is divided into groups. Those who know how to ski and those who don't. He is only in the group with his base, and Sayuri the protagonist wants to take this opportunity to talk a little with her. But Sayuri puts on her headphones as a sign that she doesn't want to be bothered. Our boy understands this perfectly and decides to go at his own pace, at least until he sees her fall and approaches to help her. This was unnecessary because Sayuri got up on her own and was quite frustrated that she couldn't ski, a feeling that increases even more when she sees that Minami is doing great. Anyway, she gets over it a bit when the teacher scolds Minami for doing jumps when it was forbidden. This is when Sayuri opens her mouth for the first time to ask Tsubasa if they are dating because she had the feeling that there was something between them when they were talking on the bus. She also mentions that Minami is the archetype of a popular and perfect girl who can do everything, basically the things that she lacks, so we can infer that there is some envy here, but it's not that she hates her. In fact, it's impossible to hate such a good person. You just have to see how kind she is, offering to be a ski guide for a boy who was a bit scared. Hopefully, she is helping these two here, who even the teacher forgot about because he sent the rest of the class to have lunch and didn't even remember them. It wasn't even long ago because Tsubasa went to the cafeteria to not be alone with Sayuri and the place was completely empty. He starts eating anyway but realizes that he left his chopsticks in his backpack and goes back to the bus to get them. The problem is that he entered at a bad time because Sayuri was drying herself a bit and saw something she shouldn't have. He turns around and starts apologizing while explaining what happened. He just wants to see his chopsticks but he thinks it's better to leave before. But she stops him because she wants to talk to him. I'm not exactly sure what she wants to tell him because she's supposed to do it while they eat. But they've been doing it for a while now and she hasn't said a word. This makes the protagonist quite nervous because he doesn't know if he should expect something normal or something bad like a threat or blackmail. The reality is that she has a problem. It seems that she sweats too much and that embarrasses her a lot, that's why she acts like that. Apparently reserved. She doesn't do sports for fear of sweating too much and that made everyone in the class leave her behind, and by the time she realized it her level was much lower than the rest, causing her to lose confidence in herself and even further isolate herself. She tells him all this because it's easier to talk to him than to the others since he's new. He doesn't have many friends and doesn't know anything about her. He's like an internet friend more or less. At that moment a notification comes from Sayuri's backpack. At first she wants to hide it but decides to tell him in the end. She actually carries her Switch everywhere because she really likes video games, especially an RPG with cute characters from which that notification came. She doesn't like that the protagonist knows about the existence of that game and forces him to play so he can get into the gaming world, something that obviously he's not good at but that at the same time motivated her a lot. To Sayuri, who doesn't realize it, she can't stop smiling and getting closer to him carelessly, at least until they lock eyes and get nervous, but her nervousness comes from thinking that he thinks she's disgusting because they only see Sayuri as someone who really wants to get along with everyone, but everyone gets scared when they see her and she ends up taking refuge in the only thing she's good at, which is video games. That's why she feels great knowing that there's someone like the protagonist who can accept her. In addition, he motivates her to get along with people because he's sure that everyone will love her. She just has to take the first step and that's it. This has already become a beautiful friendship centered around video games. A teacher-student relationship because she already plans to teach him how to play anyway. That will have to wait a bit because it's time for them to return to the track, and this time the protagonist convinces her to go skiing together in the beginner's area. As they climb up to the track, he talks about how incredible the protagonist is for daring to do these things even without any kind of experience, something that Sayuri could never do on her own. He explains that it's thanks to Minami who motivated him to do new things every day, and that's why he has changed so much since he arrived. Yuri tells him that it's obvious how much he likes the blonde. The more he tries to deny it, the more obvious it becomes, something that is normal for her because everyone idolizes her. She mentions that normally Minami tries to talk to her, but she never responds because her insecurities make her believe that she may have bad intentions. Tsubasa wants to clarify that it's not like that, so he takes advantage of the fact that they reach the top with this beautiful landscape to make a promise with her. If he manages to go down the track without falling even once, she must talk to Minami since the blonde just wants to be her friend, just like he does, with the condition of not leaving her behind. With a little concentration, he manages to go down the track while Sayuri gets excited because she finally learned to ski. Imagine how good it would have been to learn how to stop as well. Luckily, Minami saw them while they were going up the track and decided to follow them just in case, so she ended up catching up with them to teach them how to stop. Yes, all very nice, but the blonde is not a good teacher because they have a small accident and we see both of them lying in the snow after a fall. This deserves a scolding from the teacher for going skiing without supervision. The protagonist will receive punishment for considering himself the main culprit. The good thing is that these two can finally become friends. A perfect day for Minami except for the jealousy she feels knowing that these two were so close behind her. Not only is it a figurative phrase but also literal because behind her are the two of them sleeping leaning on each other.